I just stayed with Ring of Honor, and Ring of Honor just never lied to me. Then the pandemic happened. Uh, Ring of Honor went out of business after the pandemic. They paid us through the pandemic. I don't even know if I'm telling the side of the story you want to hear. That's why I'm like, I'm not good at this. Tell me what you've done type
No,
thing.
man, keep going. Keep going.
And so, and then everybody's contracts are running out or whatever. And then we did the final battle, and just knowing that we were told that it'll pick back up in like April or whatever, but it was kind of like we were taking a hiatus. And then at the end of April, I'm turning on TV, and my new boss is Tony Khan, and we didn't know it. It was kind of like it was kind of like me watching TV. I'm finding out then we didn't know if he was gonna use Ring of Honor for the video archives, or if he was gonna just take a couple of guys and just kind of be done with it, or what. But by the grace of God, man, he took it and he has his heart into it, where he's really trying to like do something with it. And I was part of the first 10 people to be called back, and I've been there since. So I work for Ring of Honor under AEW now, and I just keep in touch with people, man, and I just try to show love, bro, because I've been on all aspects of wrestling, from refereeing to wrestling to managing to producing to talk show host to commentating, and that's kind of where I'm at now. So I'm literally like, they call me the Swiss Army knife of pro wrestling. Mr. Versatility. I'm not Mr. Everything. That's Mr. Everything right there. But yeah, that's just kind of been my thing, man. And God, I've just in my career, I've always said yes to opportunities, and it's blessed me to where I'm able to do a lot of things in the same sport.
Gotcha. Tell us a little bit about your transition from being a referee to a wrestler. Like what went through your mind when that opportunity was approached to you? Like, hey, would you like to actually wrestle rather than referee?
Word up, bro, for real. It was like that, because it was like I was in practice one day, and like I said, we all, Matt and Jeff, and we all practiced in what's his name, Cameron Grimes' yard, his dad's yard. He had the ring in his yard, and so that's where we trained at. And then when I first came, I came as a wrestler. I wanted to wrestle, but I was very small, and they had Shannon Moore, and Shannon Moore was their like underdog, and it was like, well, we can't have like two underdogs, at the same time or whatever. And so when they initially brought me in, it was like, well, you just referee. But then, like I said, I was with them for I don't know how long. I don't want to say a certain amount of time and be wrong, but I was just there at one practice, and Matt was like, hey, I think you're ready. And like when he said that, it was, I don't know what I did, but I want to say I was like, ready for what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what am I ready for? And he was like, hey, we got this show coming up in Southern Pines, and because I was like, bro, when I was in wrestling, I didn't care what I was doing. When I was refereeing, I was inviting people to the shows to watch me referee. Like, I didn't care. Like, I was part of the show. You know what I'm saying? And so that was kind of my thing. And I had an entrance and everything. Like, I had a theme music for refereeing, bro. Like, I would come down the aisles and jump over the ropes, all that stuff. And I'm serious. And so then when I actually got to wrestle or whatever, I thought that was a big deal. It was a big deal for me.
Gotcha. And then during that time, was Matt and Jeff with WWE, or were they getting ready to start working for them? How does that all kind of intertwine?
They were doing like extra work for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they were kind of those guys where at the time when you say, hey, I'm wrestling with Omega or whatever, oh, those guys that get beat up on TV, those Hardy Boys, but everybody knew who they were because they were on TV. But some people just thought like that's as far as they would go. But everybody that was around them was like, yo, these guys, like, you know what I'm saying? Or it. And so slowly but surely, people started really like falling in love with them, because they were always who they are now. They always felt they were that way. You know what I'm saying? And so they would go places and they were in character, and Jeff is always wearing the stuff, everywhere they go, they just got attention. You know what I mean? And so, and I think that's a big thing that got them signed as well, is because not only could they wrestle, but they stood out. They stood out everywhere they went. They had the muscles, they had the look, they had the wear, the confidence and all. And so yeah, it was kind of like, hindsight, it's like I'm looking at these guys like, yo, like this is it. But I'm thinking Omega's it. You see what I'm saying? I'm thinking like Omega's gonna be the next, like one day we're gonna be competing with WCW, or you see what I'm saying? Something like that. But then they got picked up, and when they got picked up, Omega was
Right.
done, but Shannon wasn't signed or anything. So that's when Shannon and Christian York and Shane Helms went to NWA Wildside, and that's when they wanted me to come, and I was supposed to come up there like one time with them, and the week before I was supposed to go, I broke my ankle, and when I broke my ankle, I was on the shelf for I don't know 2 months or something like that, and during the time that I was off, they started going to Tennessee, like Burt Prentice, Memphis, Tennessee wrestling, and they ended up going to WCW. They were gone, and then I ended up going to NWA Wildside there with another carload with Laz and another trainee. His name was Will Powers and Chemo, and this other guys just kind of trickled in type thing.